We've all been in that situation before where you see Mark Wahlberg on Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Fallon goes, "Oh wow, Mark Wahlberg, your new movie, Nunchuck Pastor, has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes." And then you go watch Nunchuck Pastor and turns out it sucks. Or better yet, you watch a movie, you really enjoy it, then you go, wow, let me go check what it has on Rotten Tomatoes. You go and check it out, and it has like a 25%. And then the top critic review says, this movie is dog shit, and if you like it, you're dog shit too. Nowadays, it feels like Rotten Tomatoes is the gold standard for deciding what movies are good and which ones are bad. But the more you look, the more you find out, wait a second, Rotten Tomatoes is wrong a lot. But yet there are still people who think Rotten Tomatoes is the one site to rule them all, the one thing, the god of the land to decide what's good and what's bad. Like, let me paint you a picture. In conclusion, I thought that the themes, cinematography, and direction perfectly aligned with Matt Reeves' vision to make The Batman one of the best films we've had in a long time. Look, I know you love The Batman and all, but that movie has nothing on Ralph Breaks the Internet, best movie of all time. Wait, what? The Batman is way better. Then explain to me why The Batman only has an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes and Ralph Breaks the Internet has an 88. Dude, Ralph Breaks the Internet is such a disappointing sequel though. Okay, actually that's where you're wrong. We call that fake news. Did you know Ralph Breaks the Internet actually is 1% better than the first one? Bet you didn't know that, stupid. Jumping off that point, according to Rotten Tomatoes, Ralph Breaks the Internet is better than Seven, Django Unchained, and Fight Club. By all means, no hate on Ralph Breaks the Internet. I don't think it's actually that bad. Just trying to prove a point. But it's easy to see how Rotten Tomatoes can be wrong about things. The worst offense of this I found doing research is that the Aladdin remake, okay, has a higher audience score than Citizen Kane and the same score as The Dark Knight. Yeah, let that sink in.
You have nothing. You fucking gravel and
For those who don't know how Rotten Tomatoes works, understanding the system makes it all start to make a lot more sense. Basically, the website asks critics to describe a movie as fresh or rotten. A common misconception is when you look at a movie that has a 82%, that it scored 82 out of 100, but actually what that means is that 82% of the people that saw that film said it was fresh. For a long time, I thought that the certified fresh rating was just for the best of the best, but that's not true either. What that means is that certified top-rated critics just called it fresh. With that being said, let's look at our Batman Ralph Breaks the Internet example and look at things a little more accurately. Yes, Batman does have a lower score, but it also has almost double the critics that reviewed it. So for the Batman, what it's saying is that 85% of the 495 people that saw it said it was fresh, which means about 420 people said that it was good. For Ralph Breaks the Internet though, 88% of the critics that saw it said it was fresh, but that only had about 275. And that only equates to around 241. So that shows us that the Batman had almost another 200 critics say it was good than Ralph Breaks the Internet. So when you look at it like that, it does start to feel that the Batman is rated higher. But not a lot of people know that or are willing to look at those numbers. A lot of the times, it's just like your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your mom just checking out the website before date night going, "No, we can't watch Hook. It sucks. It only has a 29%. And honestly, if they don't want to watch Hook, that's kind of a red flag. Hey, what's up, Chad? See any good movies lately? Dude, I just saw the Lion King remake. It was freaking insane. So good. Really? I thought it only had like a 52 on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh my god, do you listen to the Critic Scores? Yeah, do you not? You idiot. The critics are out of touch. They only like artsy, depressing movies. It's the audience score that really matters. Do you know what the Lion King remake has on Rotten Tomatoes for the audience score? 65. 82%. Best movie ever made. Yeah, audiences are weird. On Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score kind of works the same way, but there are a few differences. There are tons of people that love to review bomb movies for whatever reason, and Rotten Tomatoes actually has a pretty good way to fight that. For those who don't know this, and I just found it out, Rotten Tomatoes actually has two audience scores. They have a verified score and a score for the whole entire audience. The verified score is for people that can prove they actually bought a ticket to the movie, and the whole entire audience score is just for anyone. If you take a movie like Thor: Love and Thunder that was pretty polarizing and look at the difference between these two scores, it can change quite a bit. For Thor, almost 10%. They have this feature for the critics too, being able to sort between the top rated critics and just all critics, and again, it can be a big difference. For Thor, it was 15%. In general though, you have so many different people going to see these movies, there's gonna be a big difference in opinion. Sometimes people get the movie, sometimes they don't, and sometimes there's like a character choice or an explanation that some people buy and the other people don't. Like my older brother is one of those people that's like, oh, how come the eagles didn't fly Frodo to Mordor? And there are 1,000 different reasons why, and I've given them all to him, and he's always like, yeah, like I understand and I get it, but I don't like it. Some people thought Doctor Strange was too demonic and they left, and some people wanted more horror. There is no movie in existence that's going to please everyone, and sometimes that reflects in the audience score. So should you trust Rotten Tomatoes? Sometimes. You definitely shouldn't make it the one source, the one thing that tells you whether or not a movie is good or not. But you shouldn't just abandon it either, because it is a good resource. I personally don't concern myself with the number as much, and I kind of just look at if it's fresh or rotten. But still, if a movie seems interesting to you, I say go check it out. Like I've heard very mixed things on Bullet Train, but it seems interesting, I'm gonna go see it. I'm a big fan of Jeremy Jahns, I think he's great, but if there's a movie I'm hyped for and he hates, I'm still gonna go watch it. There are movies I love that everyone hates, and the same thing goes for vice versa. It's probably for you too. Disagreement is good because it helps us appreciate movies and it deepens our understanding of them, and Rotten Tomatoes is always just a good jumping off place. If you found this video at all interesting, I'd appreciate a like, a subscribe. If you didn't and you already knew everything in this video, you can still go tell people that the Aladdin remake has the same audience score as The Dark Knight. They'll probably be shocked. They'll be like, oh no, what the heck?